So we've already talked about the background, how I got cancer, how I found out, how we looked for a doctor, how we decided on which path to take, what kind of medicine or treatment to use. And then we also talked about preparing for chemo. And today we are talking about preparing for chemo the day itself. It's a minimum of 6 sessions, and some people go through it like 12 sessions or even more. So this is how I prepared for mine. Keep on watching. Welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about the 7th part of the cancer series, and that is preparing for chemo on the day itself. My chemo sessions were scheduled beforehand, and my schedule was such that the day before I will get some tests done. So we will go to the hospital, get some tests done, and then if they're all good to go, meaning I'm healthy enough to receive chemotherapy, that's the time we will check into the hospital. Even if we do not know if the chemo session will push through, before leaving the house, we will pack our things, because usually it's me, my mom, and my husband would go with me for that overnight stint for my chemo sessions. So all of us would pack our stuff and then go to the hospital. When packing stuff, I'm never a light packer. I bring what I could bring. I bring extra clothes. For this overnight stay, I would bring, number 1, my outfit of the day. Number 2, outfit for the afternoon. My pajamas, outfit for the actual chemo treatment, and then outfit for checking out. So
all in all, I have 5 outfits.
Aside from that, I also bring my personal toiletries and my
makeup.
At that time, it wasn't much. It was just, yeah. We'll talk about that later. And then my own blanket, my own pillow. So that's everything I brought for myself. So my husband, my mom have different bags and personal items that they would bring. And then on top of that, it would depend on what I was into that moment. Like if I was into doodling, if I was reading a book or doing a puzzle, I would bring those as well. We get to the hospital and I go through those tests to check if it's a
go or not.
And then we go out again to the nearest mall or restaurant to have lunch, and then buy some food that we will be bringing into the hospital, and do some light shopping at times. So finally, when the tests are all good and I'm good to go, we proceed to checking in. Now, this isn't like a hotel where you can reserve a specific room. So it's really nice because on my 6 sessions plus my operation, like I think we got to try all the different kinds of rooms in that hospital. And each room had its own ups and downs. But what I loved most about this hospital, or the rooms I got, was that I had a view. Like when you open the curtains of the windows, you can see the courtyard, the trees, the parking lot. It wasn't like I've been to different hospitals and different rooms, and I've seen some hospitals that have the tiniest windows and like a view of the side or rear of another building. Okay, so when we check in, the first thing I do, and I do not only do this in the hospital, I sometimes do this in resorts and hotel rooms as well. Like, I don't know if it's the OC in me or the interior designer in me, that I often change the layout of the room. I specifically do this at times when we get a small room And you'll have to understand that there's three of us, like me, my mom, and my husband. And there's usually just one. In small rooms, there's only just one bench or sofa where an additional person can sleep. So whenever we get a small room, we are already prepared. Yeah, that's one more thing. My husband already brings his own sleeping bag or mat. And they both bring their own blankets and pillows just to be safe. So how do I lay out the room? I lay out the room so that everyone's comfortable, and then there's space for dinner, because dinner time, my dad usually drops by before going home. Like, he would have dinner with us. So even if it's such a tiny amount of space, I make sure that, okay, there's a good sleeping area for my mom and my husband, and then we can all eat in a specific space at the same time. I also fix the layout because I am right-handed, meaning I like keeping my right hand free to write or whatever. So therefore, the IV needs to be on the left. That's why I sometimes change the layout of the room so that the IV, what do you call that? The one with the roller caster. Yeah, where you hang the IV and all those machines connected to it should be on the left. So after dinner, we prepare to sleep, and we try to sleep as early as possible because call time is at 6 a.m. So my goal is to be able to do everything I need to get done before 6 a.m. so that I am good to just lie in bed for my drip and not move at all. So when I wake up, I have breakfast and make sure that I do
Number 3.
and then take a bath and then dress up. I don't like wearing the dresses they provide in the hospital, so I bring the most comfortable clothes I can, where there's much room to move, and if something needs to be inserted anywhere, it's easy to open and close. So I take a bath and then I put on some makeup. Yeah, I just put on the basic, like face powder and some eyebrows, because at that time I did not have any eyebrows. And then when all that is done, I am ready for my chemo session. The doctors start coming in, and then they administer the first medicine. But before that, we all say a little prayer, like me, my mom, Mark, my doctors, and even the nurses who are in the room. We say a little prayer before administering the first round of medicine. Everything I do and prepared for is based on me being stuck in bed for quite some time. And I also don't like peeing on the bedpan, but I think after a while they got used to me like standing up and going to the comfort room to pee or whatever, instead of just lying down, because they were at first, the first session, they were like afraid that I would get dizzy or topple over and all those things. But after a while, they saw that my reaction to the meds was okay, so I was able to not pee in a bedpan.
Oh, now I remember. Wait.
The first medicine, the first drip they would give is like, oh my god, what do you call that? I will need to ask them later. But I get so high, like, ooh, wow. I get so dizzy, so that's why they did not want me to stand up. But after a while, it all goes away, so it's useless. But it's fine. I did not feel any pain during the drips, so it's fine. So during the day, like, it depends on what I was into at the moment. I'd keep my right hand free, so if I wanted to doodle or write poetry or whatever, I could do it while just waiting for the drip to finish. There's usually a 1 hour break between the two medicines that they would administer to me. We usually end at 5 p.m. So after that, everything's good. I dress up again, and then we check out of the hospital. So basically, my main point is make it as comfortable as possible for you so that you won't be thinking about anything. You won't be worrying about anything. That itchy tag in your shirt, being hassled by wetting in a bedpan with so many people around you, or getting bored wanting to do something but your dominant hand isn't free. Like all those things, it's just really about that. Even if the hospital is already complete, like our hospital would give us new sets of pillows. Oh my god, I think we brought home so many pillows because of that. Anyway, like they could give you blankets, hospital gown, a pillow, bedpan, and a lot of other things. But you also need to keep in mind that some of those are paid for. They will charge you for everything. So why not just bring something from home that you're more comfortable using? Like blankets. I prefer those furry, fluffy blankets. And then I would have those bedroom socks slash slippers that I would wear. Because it's weird. Like sometimes I would suddenly feel cold, and then sometimes it's gonna suddenly be hot. So I would also base what outfits I brought on that. Yeah, so it's really as simple as that. So if you haven't yet, do subscribe, hit the like button and the notifications bell button to know every time I upload a new video, which is every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And share. I hope you do share, especially my cancer series, so that it could reach more and more people who are going through the same thing and same ordeal. And if this wasn't the video you were hoping it would be, there's a video before this, preparing for chemo. I think that's what you were looking for. So I am linking it here, or here. And see you again next time. Bye!